Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. And once again, it's a news update video with nothing but bad news. And that is that, as I unfortunately had to predict, and it's come true, now Imbalance Part 1 has been delayed. So every single book that we had confirmed to be coming out has now suffered a delay. What do we have at this point? Team Avatar Tales isn't out until January, Turf Wars has been pushed back until August, and now Imbalance has been pushed back, which we'll talk about right now. So here on Previews World, which is a big, just general place to look up comic release dates, they still have the old date, and that's October 10th. That's when the book was originally scheduled to come out in comic book stores. That's the comic book store date. That was the date. That's been the date for a while now, early October, and it seemed like it was pretty set in stone. But as I called a couple of weeks back when the Team Avatar Tales delay happened, that okay, because of the way the release dates are fairly close for those two books, more than likely this one's also going to feature a delay. And you go to Dark Horse, and that's exactly what's happened. Here's Imbalance Part 1 on the Dark Horse official website, so you know it's true. Publication date here, November 7th. It's been delayed by 4 weeks. I don't know what's going on with the Avatar stuff at all at this point. I really don't know what to think at this point, because it just feels like the one thing that you can be confident of with Dark Horse is that their books will be delayed. And when that's the only thing you can be confident of, that's not a good thing. So the question here becomes what's happening? It's not a huge delay, but why is this happening? Why go to the effort of announcing books for certain dates to only inevitably have to push them back again? And this is a book people were really, really excited for, and now it's all been pushed back. I get it to a degree that okay, if you've had to push back your other 2 books, why not push back the other one to sort of keep that sort of the gaps between releases fairly similar. But this still doesn't look great. It means that, again, towards the end of the year, we're going to be getting other books together. But what were we saying at the start of the year? That okay, we just have to get through the first half of the year, and then, in the middle, the 3/4 mark of the year, we'll be getting all of the books basically right around the same time. We've basically just pushed that back by a month or 2 for each of these books, and it's now the same. So I don't think it's the end of the world, but this is not good. I think is the big thing to say here. And when Dark Horse aren't really saying why this is happening, is this an art problem? Is this a writing problem? Is this a Dark Horse scheduling problem with regards to when they can get books printed, and Avatar has kind of been pushed down that list, that they've kind of misorganized some stuff, they've maybe got a few too many books on the go with other series and stuff like that Avatar's been pushed back? Is that what's going on here, or what? Because the Team Avatar Tales one seems utterly crazy how long that delay is. This at least seems somewhat reasonable, that okay, it's the first book in a new series, it's the first book with a new creative team, they're going to need a little bit more time perhaps. That makes sense. But the other ones, not so much. Turf Wars has been delayed, Part 3 has been delayed twice, and all the other delays for that book, you sort of expect it with that. But here, this just feels weird, and it's this problem that's developing now, where when was the last time we got positive comic information? When was the last time we got a really positive piece of information about the comics? It's been a while. And when's the next time we expect some comic information? Well, I'm not exactly sure. I would guess it would be San Diego Comic-Con, where I would assume they'll have to release probably some preview pages for Turf Wars Part 3, some covers potentially for Imbalance Part 2 and 3, the hardcover edition for Turf Wars. That's what we sort of have to look forward to and expect, but that's all expected stuff. I think to make up for this, we should, and it's not just a case of like me wanting a lot, but they should be getting towards the area of like what's next for Korra comics and that sort of thing. And instead it feels like we've just gone backwards. All of the books are getting delayed, sometimes multiple times, and I feel this just feels really terrible that this happened, because I sort of jokingly in the last video said that like, oh yeah, and just wait for a couple of weeks when Imbalance gets delayed. For it to actually happen, you have no idea how disappointed I am. Like, when I randomly decided, like, oh, I'm working on my Korra episode ranking video, making up some of the graphics and doing some of the data on that, I'll just randomly take a little bit of a break and check if there's been any like news about it. So I'm just like, okay, let's check the Imbalance Part 1 date, because I have sort of been looking out to see if it got delayed. Open up the Dark Horse website and there's that date, as I showed you before, right there, November 7th, and I just literally said pretty loudly, just out loud in the middle of my room, like, what is going on? I don't know what to say about this. So I'll end the video there. That's all the news that we really have for today. In the comments, definitely let me know what your thoughts are on the third consecutive release date delay for the Avatar comics. This time a 4-week one for Avatar Imbalance. Everyone changed the Avatar comic schedule once again because Dark Horse are changing it all over the place. So there's that. And then just a quick little thing on the channel. Expect a review of the Avatar The Last Airbender Blu-ray set to come later on in the week, along with, as I just mentioned there, the Legend of Korra episode ranking, the complete 1 to 52 episode ranking for Legend of Korra. I've never done that before. If you listen to some of the very early podcasts, I think it's like maybe the second or third episode of the Avatar Online podcast from like 2012, we did do an episode ranking for Avatar. It will be changed when I do that video, an updated version of that video, but I've never done it for Korra. That video will be coming out later this week as well. More than likely, it'll be like Friday when I release the Korra episode ranking, and then Saturday when I do the Avatar DVD stuff. Blu-ray, I mean, sorry, I'm so used to just saying Avatar and DVD by default, but yeah, that's a quick update on the channel. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this delay. Thanks for watching this video, and bye.